Jolt here from TheTokenMinorities, and I'm here with yet another Pokemon battle. Today the battle is in the Ubers tier on Pokemon Showdown. It is against a really cool guy that I met on the ladder. I'm not going to mention his Showdown name because it does include some vulgar language. However, his YouTube name is Gway, so definitely check him out. His link will be in the description. So before we jump into the battle, I'm going to give a brief team preview. Although I'm not very well rehearsed in the Ubers metagame, it's still good to give a little bit of a preview so you know what my thought process was at the beginning. So here we go. Basically, looking at his team, I see that he has a Xerneas, which is obviously the Uber of all Ubers. It is something you don't want to mess with. You really don't want to see it in any match, to be honest. He also has Arceus, a very powerful physical threat. He has Mewtwo, most likely Mega Mewtwo, X or Y, you don't really know at this point. But looking at his team, I am expecting it to be Y, as that is the most common, and it seems to fit pretty well given the structure of his team. I'm also seeing Lugia, the Great Wall, with that multi-scale and no defog support on his team. I know I'm going to want to get Stealth Rocks up as early as possible. And I also see the Jirachi, most likely a Choice Scarf variant with Trick to try to mess with me, or potentially, I don't know, there's a lot of different options for Jirachi, to be honest, and I'm expecting him to lead with Dialga or Jirachi. So as such, I am going to lead with my own Dialga. On my team, I do have Dialga, I have a Choice Scarf Kyogre, Mega Scizor, Geomancy Xerneas, regular Mewtwo with Life Orb, and a Swords Dance Arceus. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the battle, shall we? Let's click that resume button, and here we go. He is on this side, I am on the opposing side. We both lead off with our Dialgas, which is pretty cool. I just go ahead and set up the Stealth Rocks on the first turn, knowing that those are very important in this match, and taking out the Lugia. He goes for a Thunder Wave first turn, which is a fair play. He goes for the Stealth Rocks on the following turn, while I get fully paralyzed. That's too bad, and then I get fully paralyzed again, so that's even worse. So he's able to get up Stealth Rocks, Paralysis, and an Earthquake on my Dialga. Here he switches into his Mewtwo. I assume predicting me to switch, otherwise I could have just taken it out with a Draco Meteor, so that was a very risky play on his part, but I guess it worked out because I get fully paralyzed again. So Dialga just was immobilized this entire game. It was very unfortunate, but I did get the rocks up, and that was definitely the most important part of his job. Here he goes into his Kyogre, as I have my Kyogre out there, and luckily because of the rocks, the multi-scale is broken, and I predict to switch into Kyogre on that turn, just go for a Surf, knowing that 2 Surfs will be guaranteed to take it out, especially because I am a modest Kyogre. So that's great. The biggest wall in the game definitely goes down on that turn. Here he goes into Jirachi, and I'm not fearing the Fire Punch because the rain is up. So I go into my Scizor to Mega Evolve and go ahead and Roost just to see how he wants to react to Mega Scizor whenever I bring it in each time. Here he goes into Dialga, so I am expecting it to potentially have Fire Blast along with Earthquake, which really doesn't make much sense. I don't see a mixed Dialgas ever. Not that I play in the Ubers tier much, but you know, it's something that typically goes one way or the other. So I go ahead and start setting up Swords Dances, knowing that he probably can't do much to me, and knowing that an Earthquake from Dialga is probably a 4 or 5 hit KO at best on Scizor, barring any crits, obviously. But he goes ahead and paralyzes me after I get the +4, and I'm fully paralyzed again, so we're going to start those shenanigans again, which is just great for me, isn't it? Here he goes into his Jirachi, and I know I can live a Fire Punch because I am a very bulky Scizor, and Jirachi's most likely Jolly instead of Adamant. I go ahead and go for the Bug Bite after I take that Fire Punch and take out the Jirachi. So I'm sitting in a pretty good 5-4 position. He goes into Mewtwo just to die. Not the best play on his part, because now I'm up 5-3 and I just eliminated a huge threat, especially considering my team really doesn't have a special wall. The Scizor is definitely the best switch-in I had to the Mewtwo, and he is already out there, so I'm not really sure what the point was of that. I'm getting a little behind here. He does go ahead and take out my Scizor with his Dialga because I get paralyzed yet again, so Paralysis is just kicking me in the butt this entire game. I go for the R-Sphere with my Mewtwo to revenge kill the Dialga, knowing that he definitely won't want to switch out because of the risk of losing Arceus or Xerneas, his 2 best sweepers. I go for the R-Sphere on the Arceus, hoping that it'll do a little bit more than it actually does, but turns out it only does, about 60%. So he's able to set up a Swords Dance and go for the Extreme Speed and easily take out Mewtwo. Arceus is so powerful, guys, oh my gosh. Can you imagine if that was an OU? Oh gosh, talk about a quick ban. So I go into my own Arceus knowing that I'm so bulky, I have max HP investment, that I can take an Extreme Speed, and because of my max attack investment, hopefully take out his Arceus, but it turns out he has max HP as well. So he is able to win both speed ties, sadly, and take out my Arceus with 2 Extreme Speeds. Here I go into Xerneas, knowing that it's really my last chance, and he doesn't go for extreme speed, which is another play I don't agree with unless he calced it and determined that it wasn't going to be able to take me out. Although I don't run any HP investment in my Xerneas, or defense for that matter, so the extreme speed likely would have been able to take out Xerneas in one hit, and that would have been the game. However, he doesn't make that play, and now I'm sitting in a very nice position. Well, relatively, I guess. We're both Geomancied up Xerneases right now. Luckily, mine is, I believe, modest, and his was modest as well. However, I win the speed ties. I believe that's kind of how that worked. I'm not really sure how the EVs ended up on that, because this match happened a while ago, and I know we talked about it, but I can't seem to remember. But regardless, it was a very fun match with no Gway. I really hope to do more matches with him in the future. Sorry, man, it took so long to get this up, but we had a lot of March Madness tournament matches to post and preparation for the TokenMinorities Summer Showdown, which I really hope you signed up for. So without further ado, I guess that is the end of this video. So we will see you all in the next one. Wah Buffett. Bye, guys.